How safe are North Korea's airlines? Discover the hidden truths behind the enigmatic world of North Korean aviation. Have you ever wondered if North Korea, one of the most isolated countries in the world, actually has an airline? You might be surprised to learn that, yes, they do. Despite being cut off from much of the globe, North Korea's aviation system still manages to operate domestic and international flights. Although the reality is far more mysterious than you might think. Imagine flying on planes that are over 60 years old, with services that have been ranked among the worst in the world. Sounds like an adventure, right? Well, today we're going to uncover the secrets behind North Korea's airline industry and take a closer look at just how safe these flights really are. North Korea maintains diplomatic relations with about 160 countries, and its only airline, Air Koryo, operates both international and domestic flights. Pyongyang Sunan International Airport serves as the airline's main hub, connecting North Korea to cities like Beijing, Macau, and Vladivostok. But here's where things get even more interesting. Out of the 16 aircraft owned by Air Koryo, only 4 are used for international routes. That's right. Most of the skies over North Korea remain eerily empty compared to the buzzing air traffic over Japan, South Korea, and China. Now, when it comes to flying through foreign airspace, things get tricky. Due to limited diplomatic ties, North Korea faces significant challenges in negotiating airspace rights with other nations. In fact, flying over another country without proper permission could even result in a military response. Scary stuff, right? So, if you're curious to learn more about the intriguing and mysterious world of North Korean aviation, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating insights. Did you know that Air Koryo, North Korea's state-run airline, once offered flights to cities like Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur, and even Kuwait? But those routes are now a thing of the past. When it comes to domestic flights, the picture is a little more uncertain. Some reports claim the airline connects to smaller regional airports like Chongjin and Wonsan. But for the average North Korean citizen, flying is simply out of reach. Strict government travel restrictions mean most people rely on cars or trains. And even if flying were an option, the cost is far too high for a population struggling with widespread poverty. For those lucky enough to step on board an Air Koryo flight, the experience is certainly one of a kind. Before takeoff, passengers are handed English-language newspapers filled with North Korean propaganda. And as the plane ascends into the sky, revolutionary music glorifying the regime echoes through the cabin. Talk about setting the mood, right? There have even been reports of drop-down screens being installed on some flights, but don't expect the latest Hollywood movies. The only entertainment on offer? North Korean songs and government broadcasts? Now let's talk about the in-flight meal, the infamous Air Koryo hamburger. This mystery sandwich has gained a reputation as the worst airline meal in the world. The bun is dry, the patty, well, nobody's quite sure what it's made of. While it might smell like beef, it has a chicken-like taste. In fact, Vice magazine named this burger the worst airline food in 2019. And to wash it down, there's Koryo Cola, a drink that's been described as tasting like a mix of herbal medicine and soda. Yum, right? When it comes to airline services, Air Koryo may be at the bottom of the list, but flying with them is an experience you won't soon forget. So if you're fascinated by North Korea and curious to learn more about this unique airline, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us on this strange aviation journey. Let's dive into Pyongyang Sunan International Airport, the heart of North Korea's air travel. Located just 24 kilometers north of Pyongyang, this airport serves as the central hub for both domestic and international flights. What's interesting is that it also has a separate terminal reserved exclusively for government officials. But here's a fun fact. Before 2015, the airport was a far cry from its current design. The original building was a humble, one-story structure where everything, from customs to check-in and boarding, took place on a single floor. A single cafe stood near the entrance, and the main decoration was a portrait of Kim Il-sung, the country's founding leader. Fast forward to 2015, when Kim Jong-un ordered a complete renovation, transforming the airport into a more modern facility. The new international terminal now separates arrivals and departures for the first time in the airport's history, and its sleek glass facade is designed to give the world a glimpse of a more modern North Korea. Inside, a large globe monument welcomes passengers, while model airplanes dangle from the ceiling, a touch that adds to the airport's contemporary look. With 12 check-in counters, duty-free shops, a business-class lounge, and even a bar, the terminal offers much more than you might expect. There's also a restaurant serving sushi and other Japanese dishes. A surprising choice considering North Korea's strained relationship with Japan. And if you're curious about getting around, the airport provides underground parking and a convenient taxi stand. Pyongyang Sunan International Airport may not be on par with major international hubs, but it's a fascinating reflection of North Korea's attempt to present itself as a modern nation. If you're intrigued by these unique insights, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Did you know that Kim Jong-un personally inspected the construction of Pyongyang's airport terminal multiple times? After one of his visits, he even ordered the addition of Korean mythical animals to the building's exterior, criticizing the original design for being too modern and lacking traditional elements. But what really grabs people's attention about Air Koryo isn't just the airport. It's the airline's flight attendants. These women are famous not only in North Korea, but also in Japan and China, where their beauty has become something of a sensation. In fact, calendars featuring these flight attendants have gained popularity in both countries. While many airlines are known for employing attractive cabin crews, Air Koryo's attendants stand out for their pure natural beauty. Until recently, they wore red uniforms that were a little outdated, but under Kim Jong-un's direction, they now wear sleek, modern navy miniskirts and sleeveless tops during the summer. This change has certainly caught the attention of Chinese male tourists, many of whom are said to be smitten by the flight attendants on their trips to North Korea. In North Korea, becoming a flight attendant is a prestigious and highly coveted job. While air travel is restricted for most citizens, being a flight attendant provides a rare opportunity to travel abroad, making it a dream career for many women. But this isn't a job just anyone can land. Only women with flawless looks, excellent language skills, and unwavering political loyalty are selected. These air crew attendants often graduate from top schools like Pyongyang Foreign Languages University. Plus, they must meet strict requirements, such as being at least 168 centimeters tall and coming from high-ranking families to reduce the risk of defection. It's clear that becoming a flight attendant for Air Koryo is no ordinary job. It's a role reserved for North Korea's most elite. Curious to learn more about the fascinating world of North Korean aviation? Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more captivating insights. Currently, there are no direct flights between North Korea and Japan, mainly due to the absence of diplomatic relations and the economic sanctions imposed on North Korea. However, this wasn't always the case. In the past, Air Koryo operated direct flights between the two countries, especially for the import of goods. Flights from Pyongyang to Nagoya and passenger ships to Niigata were once a common sight. But with Japan's sanctions now in place, all direct air and sea connections have been suspended. There have been a few rare instances where Japanese planes landed in North Korea. One notable case occurred in 2002, when All Nippon Airways, ANA, sent a flight to retrieve Japanese citizens who had been abducted by North Korea. Another significant event was the 1970 Yodogo hijacking incident, where a group of communist supporters hijacked a Japan Airlines flight and diverted it to North Korea. North Korea's aviation history actually dates back to 1950, with support from the Soviet Union. However, operations were paused during the Korean War and only resumed in 1955 when Air Koryo, then known as Chosun Minhang, was officially established. The airline's modernization process has been slow. It wasn't until 1975 that their first jet aircraft, the Tupolev 154, was introduced. After the Cold War, Air Koryo faced significant cutbacks, drastically reducing its international routes due to financial struggles. In 1993, Kim Il-sung restructured the airline by separating its administrative and commercial divisions, renaming it Air Koryo. Though it operates as a company in name, Air Koryo remains a state-owned enterprise to this day. Since 2015, Air Koryo has expanded its business ventures beyond aviation, launching a taxi service and even entering the soft drink and gasoline retail markets. But here's where things get interesting. The United Nations suspects that the profits from these operations might be used to fund military activities. Not the kind of diversification you'd expect from an airline, right? On top of that, the British airline rating agency Skytrax, which reviews over 600 airlines worldwide, consistently ranks Air Koryo as one of the worst. This rating comes from passenger surveys that evaluate everything from airport facilities to in-flight services, meals, and crew performance. As we mentioned earlier, Air Koryo's meals and lack of entertainment are major reasons for these low ratings. But what really raises eyebrows is the age of their planes. Except for a few Tupolev 204 models, most of Air Koryo's aircraft were built in the 1960s and 1970s in the former Soviet Union or Ukraine. Compare that to other airlines, which typically replace their planes every 20 to 25 years, and you can see why Air Koryo's fleet is considered outdated and potentially unsafe. While the airline hasn't officially reported any fatal accidents since 1983, these safety records are provided by the North Korean government, which leaves many questioning their reliability. In fact, if you check customer reviews on Skytrax, you'll notice that most passengers give Air Koryo the lowest possible rating, with complaints ranging from poor service to inedible food. So, if you ever find yourself flying with Air Koryo, be prepared for a truly unique and unusual travel experience. Many travelers who have flown with Air Koryo describe their experiences as nothing short of surreal. Imagine sitting in your seat, only to notice condensation building up on the windows. So much so that some passengers thought it was raining inside the plane. With malfunctioning air conditioning units, it's easy to see how things can get uncomfortable pretty quickly. And when it comes to meals, passengers are served cold hamburgers and mystery drinks, leaving everyone guessing what exactly they're consuming. It's no surprise that Air Koryo continues to hold the title of the world's worst airline, but for those in search of a one-of-a-kind adventure, this unusual experience might just be worth it. With North Korea under heavy economic sanctions and much of its population living in poverty, it's hard to say when, or even if, the country will ever provide a higher standard of airline service. But if you do find yourself booking a flight on Air Koryo, don't forget to think back to this video. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the mysterious world of North Korean aviation. Be sure to leave a comment below and share your thoughts. And if you liked this video, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content. Thanks for watching and see you next time.